Welcome. I'm going to talk about the mRNA vaccines of the COVID. Regular vaccines can protect us from various and serious potential deadly diseases. And if you vaccinate 70% of the population, probably you will eventually get rid of some of the diseases and might eradicate, like the smallpox. Okay, smallpox is eradicated with controlled, fast, and good vaccination regimes. Okay, the vaccination programs are really important. And for the COVID vaccine, in order to be mRNA vaccines of the COVID can work, you should be fast. Okay, you should be fast. That is why I'm saying they won't be effective. Why? Because still governments cannot understand the importance of the vaccination programs, and probably they will become junk in 4 months. Okay, why junk? Because we will come across with the newer versions of the COVID, and they won't be working anymore. We should be fast. Okay, in order to be an mRNA COVID vaccine to become working, you should be vaccinating 5 billion people on Earth, okay, in 2 to 3 weeks. If you can't do that, they won't be working. Okay? But today I will be telling some other things. These mRNA vaccines are like the icebergs of the sea. Okay, let's say this is a COVID vaccine. This is the gain region. The gain region from COVID vaccine will be bigger than what you probably guess. Okay, why? The mRNA COVID vaccines will probably make 45 times increased rate of MS and Alzheimer's. Okay, so you will have 45 times increased susceptible to MS and Alzheimer's whenever you make a COVID vaccine. But during whole mRNA vaccinology, eventually you will learn how to increase lifespan of human. How? Well, during this process, as we vaccinated billions of people, we will learn the mechanisms behind progression of Alzheimer's and MS, and we will eventually have MS and Alzheimer's vaccine. Okay, and this will also increase 45 times the rates of the cancers. Okay, so after millions and billions of the people vaccinated with MS and Alzheimer's, we will eventually have cancer vaccines. Okay, and this list goes on like this. So yes, whenever you get vaccinated with the COVID mRNA vaccine, you will probably have increased chance to catch MS and Alzheimer's. Okay, but whole process will give us increased amount of lifespan. Okay, why I am so sure? Okay, I will explain this region. The immune response is still, we have black spots in immune response. Let's say an host cell infected with a COVID, okay? It gets inside and it replicates. The cell has two phases. First, become a slave of the COVID and increased amount of viral replication. Okay, it won't die and it causes increased amount of viral replication. Well, COVID is blocking some of the regions, so that's why the cell is not dying. And another fate is cell understands that it's infected and dies. Okay, apoptosis. So only few of the cells dies. Okay, most of our cells live and to become enslaved by COVID virus. And during this process, antigen presenting cells, the macrophages, they come across with both viruses, okay, viral proteins, antigens of viral proteins, and also self proteins. Why? Because the cell is infected, okay, and some of our macrophages can catch also the self antigens, and during the infection, as non-specific immunoglobulins and interleukins released, and some of the cytokines, they both increase their numbers. Okay, so self and non-self targeting cells increased, and some of the B cells turn to become plasma cell. Okay, so they are differentiated into the anticore producing cells, and those anticore producing cells, they come together with the T cells and the cytotoxic T cells and the antigen presenting cells into the bone marrow, spleens, and some nodules. Okay, inner nodules, they come together, and the black spot is in here. They decide the fate of the plasma cell, whether it become memory cell, so carry on its life and produces anticorps against the pathogen, or it is killed by the cytotoxic T cell. Okay, that is why after the infection, the anticorps against COVID increased, and then they decreased, and the patient will catch COVID again in later on 2 to 3 months again. Okay, that's why we have observed. I know that one patient that he catch the third time. He catch COVID third time. Why? During this process, its fate goes to the killed. Okay, so the plasma cells cannot transform into the memory cells. Okay, why? During this decision, there are some specific short RNAs, okay, the KMers, specific KMers, that their function is to show production timeline, okay, or the barcodes of production, or the tags of differentiation. What does it mean? While you are producing some good, okay, you have a production line, and each production line has a specific tag. So whenever you understand that you have a problematic product produced, you will probably collect all those production lines. Why? Because some other products might be also problematic, and you won't carry on with business with a defective products, okay? So during this process, as there are also some self-targeting cells occur during this process, most of the time the self-targeting ones are the broad host range RNA viruses. Okay. Well, whenever you catch bacterial diseases, the percentages is not so high, so most of them are against the bacteria. But whenever the infectious agent is broad host range RNA viruses like the COVID, you will have increased amount of self-targeting elements, and as they are differentiated at the same lot, okay, as they are having the same K-mers, okay, same aging K-mers, same aging RNAs, and whenever they are spotted, they are killed. Even if the plasma cell perfectly works on the antigen itself, but unfortunately, as our COVID is broad host range RNA virus with an envelope nature, we will also have increased amount of self-targeting immune cells. That is why the patient will catch secondary or tertiary infections, okay? Now, a successful COVID mRNAs that they have higher protection rates will cause another problem. They will, whenever the immune cells come together, the decision of perception of self to non-self by checking the specific tags, okay, production, not production, but the differentiation timeline. Yes, because the immune cells, whenever come across with a pathogen, they differentiate, okay. The tags of differentiation times, this perception lost, okay, with the mRNA COVID vaccines. So what happens? You will have increased chance of 4 to 5 times increased chance of catching MS and Alzheimer's. Okay. But still, I am into mRNA vaccines. Why? Yes, they will disrupt many things, okay? But eventually, in whole mRNA vaccinology, trust me, we will learn how to increase lifespan of human. Probably 150 to 200 years, okay? Probably we will learn how to increase this. Yes, in each mRNA vaccine, we will have increased rates of another catching diseases, but eventually we will increase our lifespan. Okay. And current mRNA vaccines, that's why I'm saying they won't be enough, they won't be sufficient, and they won't be working in 4 to 5 months. Trust me. If you want to have a perfect, successful vaccination regime against the COVID infections, you should be first. Unless they won't be working. And in 4 to 5 months, so that means in 1 month, you should be vaccinating 70% of whole world, not your country, the whole world, okay? Asia, Europe, Africa, Australia, America, whole continents should be vaccinated in 1 month. Or else, you won't get benefits from mRNA vaccine, you just get increased rate of MS and Alzheimer's. By the way, if you are infected with COVID, you will also have increased rate of MS and Alzheimer's, like 2 to 3 times. Okay. And also, I'm not against vaccines, okay? I'm not so stupid. Vaccines are too important. They have already protected us from serious diseases, and they have already helped getting rid of some of the vaccines, okay? But the world is not ready for huge vaccination regimes and programs. That's why I'm saying they won't work, okay? And as world is not ready to vaccinate huge numbers, they won't be sufficient, okay? And so that's why currently I have a formula for the COVID vaccines, okay? I'm not trying to therapeutic pills against COVID vaccine. I have currently working on the antiviral drugs. So, my idea is that world is not ready, and we are already late, by the way. We are already late, and we cannot vaccinate 70% of the earth in 1 month. We are already late. But, as I said before, mRNA COVID vaccine won't be beneficial for COVID, but during this whole process, we will learn too many things, okay? During this vaccination protocol, we will learn too many things.